So, what shall we play today? I was going to play Light Force, but I didn't fancy swearing that much. Get a sore throat. I'll leave that for another day. So, now a game I played a long time ago and uploaded to my channel, maybe a decade ago actually, is 3D Scramble. I believe this is Livewire software. So again, see, they've looked at Frogger and they've made an isometric version, because Zaxxon was all the rage in the early 80s in the arcade. Well, the graphics. And they've done the same thing with Scramble. So there's only two versions of Scramble on the 64 from the 80s worth playing. One is by Rabbit Software and the other one is Anirog. But the Anirog Scramble does a character scroll, which funnily enough most of us never noticed. It's only decades later when I tried it for the first time on emulator, I was like, well, hang on a minute, is this smooth scrolling? And possibly I might play Outrun after this. Not sure, Outrun might not work. Actually, it's a multi-load game. Oh, this is nice. A smooth scrolling text. Oh, you'd need an Intel i7 to get Microsoft Office latest version of Word to do this. It still won't be this smooth. Not constantly. Ah well, serves you right for buying a PC in the 90s, you prick. Joystick port 2. Now I'm going to have to find yet another zip stick, because the diagonals on this are... this is like driving a classic car. Well, with a manual gearbox anyway. There we go. I don't know if this loading screen, I doubt this loading screen was on the original. Livewire didn't have loading screens on their, tape loaders. Let's try trainers, unlimited lives, that doesn't really help. But I want to try and see as much of the game as possible. There we go, SID has been turned on. So it's exactly the same as Zaxxon as far as the controls go. And you fire bombs and missiles at the same time. But you also got to get through the caverns in 3D, just like in the comic stage, meteor stage on Scramble arcade. Well, it's too low now. So I see you've got the UFOs now. But you have to avoid crashing into the walls, which is a bit of an issue. Because of the viewpoint. So you can see the end of the tunnel. There we go. So I don't know if it has the comics now. Yeah, it does, see? And it's actually more difficult than Scramble the arcade, I find. So the trick to not hitting the walls, avoiding the walls of the cave, etc., is basically to just keep an eye on your shadow, because they've luckily put a shadow there. gets a bit tricky now actually. Like seeing where you can and can't go. You've got to sort of go through the city. That's a fantastic game. I wish I had this back then. You know, it's very of its time. Someone decided, yeah, let's do Scramble, but let's do what we did with Frogger with Jumping Jack 64. See, you can't even see the floor there. That's really harsh, that is. Very hard to judge, you see. I suppose you've got to alternate between using the shadow for the yellow side of the cave wall and your actual ship for the black side. Fuck it, see, that's fucking, it's impossible, isn't it? No one's actually trained this, as far as I know, for you know, no sprite to background collisions, etc. It's just, they should have at least left a tiny little path for you to see. It's really annoying. That is the only thing. So, whereas Jumping Jack plays exactly like Frogger in the arcade, this actually makes it much more difficult. They haven't taken into account the isometricness of the transfer